Hi guys, welcome to my channel, The Honest Truth About VIPKID, No BS. I'm Rachel and I'm excited to have you. If you find any of these videos helpful, whether you're thinking about becoming a teacher with VIPKID or you're already a teacher with VIPKID and you just want to know some ins and outs and tips and tricks of the trade, please subscribe for more videos. In this video, I'm going to go over the key tips that you need for passing your interview with VIPKID, whether it's a demo or the mock stage. These are the key things you must have included in order to move forward in your application process. In another video, I will go over the step-by-step, slide-by-slide suggestion for how to specifically teach each slide, but these are the key things you have to have going on in the background or throughout in your interview. VIPKID has a list of suggestions and tips for passing your interview on their website, and that's what I'm highlighting on and expanding. So in the comments, you'll see a link to this part of their website where I would recommend going and seeing all of their suggestions for the interview process. Tip number 1, common ESL techniques. English as a second language, ESL. You have lots of different caveats that go into being a good ESL teacher. One being TPR, total physical response. TPR is using your hands, your body to basically show and demonstrate what you are saying in English. So instead of just saying jump and having them repeat, you show, you demonstrate, jump, jump. You demonstrate what word you are saying in English. Total physical response, TPR. Also, some other ESL techniques would be repetition. This is something VIPKID is looking for. You're having the student repeat typically at least twice. Depends on the slide, depends on the level of the student, but you're having them repeat. Sad. Good job. Sad. See that? I use both TPR and repetition. Sad. And then I did it twice. Repetition, very important. Positive correction. When you interview, they will make mistakes. The interviewer is pretending to be a little kid learning English, and they are trying to see if you will catch mistakes and correct positively. So for example, VIPKID is adamant about full sentences. So if you were to ask, "What is your name?" and they just say, "Jane," you're positive, you're good job, but then correct. "My name is Jane." And make sure they have the complete sentence. If they make an error, be positive, good job. Make sure you actually correct their errors. They are going to make mistakes to try to throw you off. Be positive, don't be negative, but make those corrections. That is essential to your interview. Another key part of ESL technique is supplementary tools, and these would be props, your dry erase board with your letters, it would be your puppets, whatever you have as additional materials in your interview. Don't worry about going all out. Use your resources that you have around you. If you're a mom or a dad and you have children's toys and educational materials, use those. If you don't really have a lot, I highly recommend a thrift store. Almost everything that I have in front of me, including my toys from my little nephews, a lot of these things, the magnet letters, are thrift store finds. Thrift store, dollar store, keep it cheap. Don't feel like you have to spend a fortune for this interview. But a couple key things I would recommend. One of these magnet boards that you can get at Walmart or Target for super cheap, and a bag of magnet letters. Those you can find sometimes at thrift stores. They come in those big bags where they just throw in a bunch of letters. So you might get a couple missing letters or like 20 letter I's. But that's a good place to start. If you get a couple of them, you should have all of the letters. All of these thrift store magnet letters. They're great. And magnets are so fun. Those are a couple things I'd recommend for having for props. Maybe a little puppet you can find, or a doll to indicate some other person, like he is sad. That's another prop I would have, but I wouldn't use too many. It can be distracting, but look at the slide that you're teaching, look at the objectives, and you need to have supplementary materials. Tip number 2, VIPKID techniques. This would include lesson planning. make sure that you have practiced the heck out of this lesson. You've gone over all of the slides, you have spoken to yourself over that practice classroom that you have available to you. Enter that practice classroom, mess around with the mouse, draw lines, make sure you have that figured out. Make sure you figure out where you fit within your screen. You've got a good backdrop. Practice, practice, practice. This is key. And the interviewer will know if you've practiced or not. And that helps them know, is this person going to really lesson plan and practice before they teach in the future? Now, the effort that you put into this interview and how often you lesson plan and practice is not how much you will practice and lesson plan in the future. Trust me. You are just trying to shine and be 110% on this interview, so you need to go above and beyond. The interview stage, the first demo, is your base pay. It determines your base pay. This is key with your educational background and your teaching background and how you do on this interview. It determines your base pay, and it's hard to grow from that base pay. It takes some time, it takes some work to get a bonus or an increase in your contract. So make sure you put in the extra effort and practice above and beyond on this stage. Another technique is make sure you have positive high energy level. They're looking for big smiles, lots of energy. Be smiling all the time, no matter what. You make a mistake, smile. The interviewer makes a mistake and you're correcting them, be smiling through it. You need to be positive and have that constant positivity and good attitude. Lesson objectives. VIPKID will have specific lesson objectives on each slide. You must follow this to a T. This is what they're looking for. They want to make sure you will be able to look at a slide and look at lesson objectives in the future and focus on those. Don't worry about extra fluff. Don't worry about extra tips and ideas and fun games and fun ideas you have. When I interviewed, I had the date, the month, day, and year up on the board, and I thought it'd be cool to get the student to say the date for the day, and they did not want that. That was not the objective. That was, maybe that student doesn't even know what you're talking about for months and days, and they haven't gone over that. So they did not want extra fluff. They want the objective. They want what they have on the slide. They want what they want. Teaching practices. This includes talk time. Make sure that you're balancing the amount of time that you are talking with how much time that student is talking as well. You're getting them to repeat, you're modeling, but they need to be responding too. You can't be doing the talking the whole time. Make sure you demonstrate a lot of patience. Again, keep this positive. Don't look frustrated if the interviewer is making several errors. I know when I was interviewing, I had practiced my teaching in PowerPoint over and over again, and I was not ready for the fact that they were going to be so slow and they were going to make errors, a ton of errors that I had to correct. And I'm keeping in mind, oh my goodness, I have to keep a good pace of time to make sure I finish all of the slides within the time frame. And I was getting a little frustrated. I'm like, you are so slow, you're not helping me get, and that's going to happen with kids. They are going to be so slow, there's going to be a delay in technology. So make sure when you are practicing and preparing, you are going slow and giving lots of time for that response. For example, he is sad. Good job! They will take forever. So make sure you are patient. Don't be frustrated. They know you have a time frame, but be prepared for that. Be practicing for long time response and correcting errors. They are going to throw that at you, and it's going to be a little frustrating because you want to make sure you get this done in a time frame. But that's natural. That's what's going to happen as a teacher in a real classroom with VIPKID. Tip number 4 and last tip is professionalism. This has a lot of things to do with your background, how you dress, how you present yourself. You want to make sure you are very professional in this interview. Nowhere on the website do they talk about an orange shirt, but you see this orange shirt all over the place. If you're like me, I have very few orange shirts. Actually, the fact that I'm a Giants fan is very helpful. I have a few of those. Yeah, it doesn't say VIPKID, it says San Francisco Giants, but I don't care, it's orange. When I interviewed, I had a nice dress shirt that was like a dark orange, but it was interesting. The interviewer noticed it wasn't quite the orange that they wanted, and he commented on it. So make sure you have an orange shirt. They don't really say, but for the interview, orange shirt, they're looking for it. That's their thing. That's kind of their image. So make sure you show that you are a team player, you're ready to sign up for this. You're ready to wear that freaking orange shirt. It starts to smell after a little bit because you only have a few orange shirts. Your background is really important. They are looking for educational materials, but just a really good clean space behind you, not too busy, very laid out, a good teaching classroom. So make sure you go all out for this with your background. I've got a nice, just, colorful background, orange and blue, complementary colors in art teacher background. Orange and blue pop, and orange is their color. So just really try to work on that background, make it clean and nice and educational. Lighting is really important. You want to be over the top, bright and light, and make it so clear, your classroom space. If you're too dark, they will ding you for it. If you do not have enough lighting, and I thought I was over the top. I signed up for an interview in the middle of the day, so I knew I had lots of light. I had lamps all over, and they still were like, you could be brighter. So go over the top, find every lamp in the house, open the windows, make it so bright and visible. Make sure you kind of play around with it so it's not shiny, you don't have lights right on your board. So make sure you really work on that space and make it as bright as possible. And last, you want to make sure think of a passport photo. That's where you fit in the screen of your classroom. You want to make sure you're centered and you're not cutting off the head. You're not all the way down here. You want to make sure you fit well like a passport photo in the screen. So play around with your computer, setting your laptop up on some books too to have it up at eye level. One thing I want to make sure I mention that I'm not wearing and demonstrating right now is a headset. They are looking for a headset for all of their teachers. It's better for communicating clearly without any background. You come in consistent in this microphone, whether you're moving around, talking about your reward system. So they want a headset. When I interviewed, I got this cheapo headset at Walmart for $9. So, and it wasn't great, and I invested in not even that much more, maybe $30 for this headset off Amazon. I'll post a link for this guy. It's great. I can turn it off with this button. Turn off the mic if I need to cough or say something to someone in the room. You can pass with earbuds and a microphone, but again, you're trying to show that you are going to be a really dedicated team player at this point, and you want to really go all out. So don't spend a fortune, but really, if you have the option and you're able to get a nice headset, do it before this interview stage so you start with the higher base pay. They're looking for all of those little nuances to give you extra check marks. So make sure you have a headset and show that you're ready to wear that as a teacher. Really work on your classroom setup. This is really key. You want to shine in this interview. That first interview determines your base pay. So you want to make sure you hit professionalism and you've got a nice clean background, an orange shirt, and good lighting. Those are the 4 tips and techniques I recommend always having going on throughout your entire interview to pass and get all of those check boxes and get all the points you can. If you found this video helpful, please use my referral code when you're signing up. If you have already signed up and you don't have a referral teacher, you can still contact VIPKID and send them my referral code, and they will honor that and go, oh, she's helping them along. Awesome. I'm there to hold your hand the entire way, so if you reach out to me, I will help you at every step, answer questions. So please use my referral code if you find this helpful, and subscribe if you want to hear and see more tips and techniques when you become a teacher or in the application process. I would love to help you out no matter what stage you're at. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.